Free who?
I don't know.
Okay. Welcome. It's okay. She's all right. The dog's coming through. Welcome back to another sode. Carl yet again. He shaved his head. He's looking mighty fine these days.
Carl.
You think you're a better version of Carl or a discount version of Carl?
I don't have hair. Obviously better.
Obviously. Happy fall, everybody. Even though it's 100 degrees here in the valley.
100. We keep it 100 twice.
It is really fucking hot.
It is. I went outside and I was like, oh, it's summer.
Yeah, I really was excited for it to get...
Yeah, right? After that heat wave and then it really cooled down, I was like, oh, it's fall. It's nice. Good.
It was like, so we had this last little heat wave in Los Angeles in the valley. It was like fucking literally 115. There was one day that was so hot that you would be in the car and you'd have the AC blasting, but no matter how long the AC was on, it never like cooled down in the car.
The type of hot that makes you like angry to do anything. Just like...
Yeah. I usually don't get that here though, because it's a dry heat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's that humidity like back east or down south that really gets me. But yeah, so then it cooled down. I was like, fuck yeah. You know, sweater coming in. I was getting ready for it, and now we're back to 100 degrees. I guess I should shut the fuck up. I mean, we're just gonna go drink in the pool today, so I guess
that's not bad. No, it's not. But you know what? I'm getting pushed a lot on Instagram right now is snowboarding clips, and it's been what, like, I think the last time I went was with you, or at least when we were in college when you came to visit me was, I guess, 3 years ago now.
That's probably
like the last time we went.
That's
skiing,
the last time I went skiing
or snowboarding, and I would say we live close to like all these awesome mountains.
Not really.
What do you mean? Not
Dude,
close, or
not that close?
Regardless of that, they're there. You can get there. Yeah. It's not bad, but they're so expensive. For like day passes, it's ridiculous.
I thought Mammoth was a lot closer when I heard about it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude, like Mammoth is right. It's like 5 hours away.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
Big Bear is the closest one, but Big Bear is kind of like, it's not like Mammoth. It's just it's all like man-made snow.
It's like
pretty much. It's like an East Coast.
Yeah. What's the one? It's also Bear Creek.
Bear Creek, yeah. back in the Poconos.
Oh my God.
Bear Creek,
the smallest mountain ever. Buddy.
No. The smallest mountain ever was Spring Mountain. Did you ever go to Spring Mountain?
Yes, I think that's where I learned how to snowboard / ski was Spring Mountain.
So we grew up outside of Philly, so we were not super far from the Poconos. So like you could just take a day trip. Yeah. I remember at Spring Mountain Tuesday nights.
Yep.
You could ski for $20.
Yep.
And you just like barely a fucking mountain. It's more of a hill. But I mean, I've been skiing for a really long time. Like I don't remember learning how to ski. Like we were like my dad put us on skis like really, really early. I only know stories of like getting the rope behind me or whatever. Do your parents ski?
Mm-hmm.
Is that who taught you?
Yeah, my dad skied. We used to with my cousin Bridget when we all used to go up in the mountains for like Thanksgiving and back when we were younger and where we would get crazy amount of snow early on, we would all go like skiing together. And I have a vivid memory of me trying to learn how to ski. And I was like going down the mountain, I kept on falling. And I like took off my skis, like, fuck this, I don't get it, I hate it. My one cousin goes, are you admitting defeat? You're taking your skis off and walking down the mountain? Are you a coward? I was like, no. And I just remember getting I'm not a coward.
Dude, I remember as a kid having no fear. Like, I remember doing, black diamonds as, a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
And I think it's because you're light.
Yes.
Like, you're 80 pounds maximum, so I don't think you, get thrown around as much.
Dude, I used to send the shits at Blue Mountain. Remember that? On fucking Sidewinder, the huge fucking ramps at the very top of the mountain?
The shits?
They were called the shits because you go off and you're like, oh shit. And I used to send it like it was nothing. And then I went back I think the end of high school. And I was like, what the fuck, dude?
I remember, maybe I just felt like I was going a lot higher because I was a young kid. But I remember going off jumps and landing and being like, that was crazy. And then I went off of a jump as an adult, and I like hit, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
god, like my whole body like vibrated.
When we used to do ski club, like we would park on like one ramp and like go off of it and come back up, do it all night, and we would send it, just do 360s, eat shit, get back up, and do it as if it was nothing. And now I think about it, so I when I was in college and I was like, all right, let me send some 360s. Made like maybe a 180 rotation, didn't land it, landed on my back. I was like,
Yeah, I'm
No.
just talking like, dude, when I was like young, I remember like never. I used to do this thing where I would get on skis, and I would bomb the hill, and I would get into a ball, and I remember I thought it was really funny because we would get into a ball, and then just like go down and not move, and then if people were in our way, we would just yell, and until they moved. Like
that's
that
the
was
most David Loving thing I've ever heard.
that was like what we did, and like that's fucking bonkers to me now. Like I don't know how fast we were going.
You're flying, dude. Especially if you're not speed checking yourself.
Yeah,
Long story short, we want to go skiing.
I would love to go fucking.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready to be cold.
Have you ever gone water skiing?
No. I've always
Never?
wanted to. I
Have
think
a
I
wake-
did it once, and that was another thing where I couldn't get it. I was like, fuck this.
Dude, water skiing's fun.
But, I mean, water skiing's great, but I'm taking a tube every time.
No.
Bro, there's
No.
Are you serious? You'd rather go skiing than get
You-
fucking launched
deal-
on a tube?
You haven't got up on skis.
That's true.
Which
That's
is
fine.
why.
Probably,
Like,
it's probably true.
If who's got a boat? Come on. If we could find someone with a boat
I'm
and
down.
some water skis and I showed you how to do it, you would
I'd
I
probably
think
love
you
it,
would
yeah.
agree with me.
I agree.
Oh my god. We had this thing our neighbors had a lake house up in Maine.
That's awesome.
Right? Old cabin. Like grandpa's grandpa had it.
Mhm.
OG fucking grandfathered in, so it's like really close to the water. Everywhere else isn't allowed to be near the water. It's just like whatever. And they had, so we go up there, and they're like, "Yeah, you will come up." We go and visit with them, and we're staying in this fucking cabin. So sick. There was like the main house, and then there's like, it felt like summer camp, and there was a secondary house, but it didn't have like a kitchen or anything. It was just like 3 rooms and a center like fucking toilet,
Yeah.
right? Bathroom. It was a bathroom.
In the middle of all the beds.
Anyway, in like the shed, they found this giant tube
Best day
from
ever.
the 90s.
Oh, so not unregulated. The thing's got.
And it was intended to fly. It was
Kids died on that for sure.
it was recalled because lots of people died. But we're like, let's fucking go for it. So they had a boat, but the boat wasn't fast enough to get it to go up in the air. So we had to wait until a storm was coming, and it was like really windy, and you'd drive into the wind. And what you would do is you'd have to pull up, and then you'd kind of have to like jump, and you would get it to kind of like float in the air. The problem was if you went sideways, it would like catch the wind, and then it would flip you, and it wouldn't just flip you off. It would bring you down into the water, and you're holding it like this, and you go like this, and you get hit in the water, and then your neck touches your ass, or your forehead touches your ass.
Were just because our bones weren't developed that you could just take these hits?
I guess, dude.
It has to be.
It was like I got thrown off, and I remember like skipping
skipping
across
like a
the
rock.
water.
What's with dads and like just finding those old toys with them growing up? Like we used to have garage nights at David's house, and his dad had like lawn darts from like the 80s, the 70s.
That was so fucking stupid.
It was the dumbest shit. But like they're like these. Picture a dart. You throw it a board, but blow it up to maybe like the size of a football, and you would. What's the actual like? Let me tell the story. What the game we played, but what's the point of these darts? Like, how are you supposed to throw them?
I think it's something similar to horseshoes.
Like
where
someone
you
would just throw
it
one
up, and you have to get it into like a target kind of situation.
Okay, so we're like, fuck that noise, because I think at this point we had all had about 10 Coors Banquet or Genesee, whatever we were drinking at that time. And we were all like, you know that scene in Grown Ups where they play air roulette and they shoot it straight up? We're all hammered with these darts. And let me tell you, like harpooned end, it's going through anything, no matter how hard you throw it. And we would throw it up, and if you moved, you're a pussy. And
It was so fucking
I
stupid.
had one too many, and I was like, I'm not moving. And I would just throw it up.
Colin not only would like not move, but most of us were like, okay, well, you know, you could throw it up in the air and you could watch it and you're like, that's not going to hit me. And then you could not move and you're fine. Colin would throw it up in the air and then look down at the ground. So he had no idea if it was coming for him or not.
Nope. Not one of my proudest moments.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, those are recalled. You're not allowed to play with, you're not allowed to sell lawn darts anymore.
But those are the best kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. On the note of dad's toys, our toys, butt plugs, dildo. No. What were childhood toys you were obsessed with? Like, what comes to mind for me? I had like.
What kind of childhood? Like early, like when you're a kid, or like when
what
you're
do
like.
you have the fondest memories with? Because I remember when I was really young, like I had all the Thomas trains. I build towns in my basement and like ride them around, and then I evolved to like. I think I'm like. Early elementary school Hot Wheels, and I would go on like these. I would imagine I would this one car, and I had like a gang of cars, and we'd go on these like crazy fucking adventures through my house. And I remember like, Mom, like, let me hang Hot Wheel tracks on the roof or like on like the ceiling of our house so I could ride them around the house. She's like, no, and I just couldn't understand. Like, it would be sick, Mom. Like, why can't I do this?
Why don't you see? Everyone would come over and be like. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Mom, I have a future in interior decorating.
I get it. Yeah.
When I was really young, I liked Legos, and I had I remember like there was this little thing that I had. It was like a little Lego guy. I named him Puck, and I would just like play with him. Same thing, like go through the house and have adventure things. I'm trying to think. Like I don't remember. All right, actually, I do remember. This wasn't a toy. I was a little bit older, probably 7, maybe 9. And in our backyard, my dad, he's not a hoarder, but he's got a lot of shit, you know? Just a lot of stuff. He's the kind of guy who sees something in the trash, and he's like, that's good. No, that shouldn't have been thrown out. I'm going to take that home, right? So in the shed and behind the shed, we had a lot of random things. And I remember one time, me, my brother, and the neighbors all made like race vehicles. Like we had a
like boxcar racing.
I had a wheelchair, and we were going to use them to bomb hills. So I made brakes on the wheelchair. I had like 2 pieces of wood on either side, so I could like pull, and so I could go really fast, and then I wouldn't like burn my hands. And I think I maybe had a platform for my feet, and then we also had a giant we had like an old sunfish sailboat.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
I know
about?
exactly what you're talking about.
But we didn't. We had this. No. We didn't have the sail.
Big stretch.
We didn't have the sail. But we put multiple skateboards underneath it. And we like tried to bomb the hill.
Oh my god. Wait, where are you? What hill are you bombing? In your neighborhood?
In my neighborhood, yeah. Like, you know, like
yeah, I mean, I know
like you know where the Caffreys live?
Yeah.
Like we would go from like the Caffreys down to our house.
And you're in a sunfish just mess.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was a sunfish or it was just a really big if it was a I think it was a windsurfing.
Okay, yeah.
No, because sunfish, they're way too big.
I was just saying,
No.
that's taking up the road.
No, it was like a windsurfing thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know.
And we put like 2 skateboards underneath it, and like extra stuff on the side so you couldn't go too far. Yeah, and then a wheelchair and stuff like that. I remember that being really fucking fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bombing hills. That's another thing as a kid. Like I before cars or anything. We were all too cool for bikes, so we'd get longboards in like middle school.
You were too cool for bikes?
I mean, trust me, I biked, but like when I was with that crowd, I was longboarding for sure. Yeah. And we used to bomb hills on longboards like it was nothing. Like, you know, I still used to do it. Like from my house to Wawa, where it used to be, I used to just bomb that shit on my longboard.
I was saying this when we were watching football the other day. When was the last time you fell? Like really fell. When you're watching football
Oh yeah, dude.
and you
You're not
see
getting
those
up.
guys like get hit and hit the ground, or even just like dive for a catch, you're just like, oh yeah, it is
You're
what it is.
eating that.
And then I'm like, no. When's the last time you fell, even in grass? You've hit the ground and you're like, oh fuck, dude, fuck. And those guys are doing it like over and over and over and over again. But I don't fall too much like as an adult.
Probably drunk at college was like the last time I actually took like a spill.
Yeah, I definitely took a spill.
But at that point, you're hammered. And at that point, I'm on the fucking Buffalo Bills and I can't feel shit. And I'm getting right back up.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you just used to like eat shit as a kid.
Yeah.
That was just normal.
Mm-hmm.
Hit your head on the fucking ground.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you were going to get into an extreme sport like snowboarding, skiing, skateboarding, BMX, and you can't choose snowboarding because I know you do that.
Yeah.
What would you get into?
Honestly, I was always like Nitro Circus and just watching those guys rip shit on motocross.
Motocross?
But honestly, not quads, like bikes.
Yeah.
Seeing them do that shit, I was like, you're the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Nitro
you're
Circus
awesome.
was so sick.
Oh my God.
Did you ever watch Fuel TV growing up?
A little bit. Never like, if it was on, I'm like, just flipping through channels and I saw it, I was like, this is sick.
Fuel TV got weird and it didn't last. But in, I don't know, maybe 2012, maybe a little bit before that, I don't know. Fuel TV was like the coolest thing ever. It was a channel all about extreme sports like skating and biking, and there was all these shows like Built to Shred, and it was like a show. It was like a DIY skating show. It was all about like building shit and then
sick.
skating it. And then there was like Camp Woodward, which like Woodward's a huge fucking.
Connor used to do that shit, dude.
He used to go to Camp Woodward.
Connor he was really good at skating and snowboarding.
And if you don't know, maybe it's not that famous.
Woodward's
everywhere.
pretty big. Woodward.
I know it's in PA. Which
But no, I believe there's other locations too.
Oh, whatever. So if you don't know what it is, it's a huge skate park. It's like a compound.
They do too. One for skating and one for snowboarding and skiing.
Oh, there is one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. But Camp Woodward was a show about like kids. There's like a summer camp and kids would go and you'd like learn how to skate and shit like that.
But they had like mega like you'll still see it if you like watch skating videos. If you ever push that on Instagram, you'll see Woodward. It's like an orange circle words. Oh my God. That's how I learned about axe bombs. Because my brother went to Camp Woodward and they had like
when you use axe in a lighter.
No, wait. They had like, so it was literally like a camp. Like you have a little camp room and he was probably middle school again, and what's every middle school boy's cologne, but axe. And they would go to other people's dorms or whatever, like camp rooms, get a axe can, pencil, stab it, and then throw it in. And it just smelled like axe. And I was like,
that's so fucked
I remember
up.
doing that in Lenape Middle School. It was just axe bomb, throw it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we went on a tangent. What about you?
What did you say?
I said motocross.
Motocross. I would love to skate. I think skating is so cool.
Yeah.
There's no cooler person on the planet than a guy who can
skate.
kickflip downstairs.
Come on, dude.
Like, because you see it all the time in videos, but you can't name a single person that you know personally, unless you're like in the skating community.
No. Yeah, not at all.
Like
It's
those guys are sick.
mm-hmm.
I would skate or skydiving, like the wingsuiting. Sorry, wingsuiting,
Like squirrel suits.
squirrel suits.
You ever see that one
Skydiving
video?
/ wingsuiting would be the fucking sickest shit ever.
You ever see that one video where the guy does it with his friend and his friend fucking slams to the side of the mountain?
Nope.
Oh, it will make you not want to do it because they do it together and his friend dies and the dude sees it happen
And he has to just keep going.
he keeps going and it's just him like, no. It's just like,
Fuck. All right. Jesus
Cool.
Christ.
happy thoughts.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And then, but the crazy thing he says in the video is he's like, I had to do it the next day. He said, if I didn't get back in that plane and jump off again, I would have never done it again.
I can see that.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I could see that.
and now that guy's dead. No, I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe not.
maybe I just no. Also, another. If you call it an extreme sport, I was obsessed with NASCAR as a kid. I wanted to be a NASCAR driver.
Really?
So, dude, there's pictures. I'll send you this and you put it up there. There are Linden Halloween parades, and I'm dressed up as Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Who's Dale Earnhardt?
He was number 5. Like he was
Number 5.
he was NASCAR, bro.
He's Ricky Bobby.
Yes, he was Ricky. I'm almost certain Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in the Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
I think the guy, his friend, his name's Dale.
Yeah, I know, which is probably because. Never mind.
What?
I know. I'm just, but I think he's actually in it. Like they get a real NASCAR driver.
He's like a cameo kind of deal.
Exactly. Just like Elon Musk in Iron Man 2.
All right. Why do you, have you ever actually watched a NASCAR fucking event?
Yeah. Dude, I was a loser as a kid. I thought it was so cool. I get all my GameCube games were like NASCAR 2001, NASCAR 2003, NASCAR 2000. But I would never play. All I do was I would turn around and try and drive into the cars, and I thought it was so funny.
I mean, that's pretty fun. Were you a big racing game as a kid?
Yeah, I had a lot of Hot Wheels games and
like video
Mario
games?
Kart. Yeah.
Did you play like Forza and stuff
No,
like that?
I hate that shit. I did a full 180. I thought it was so cool, and then now I'm like, fuck that. Boring.
How about like Need for Speed?
Oh, bro. Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit 2.
Yeah, Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit 2. The one where you had the little police radar.
Yes.
Beep, 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 beep.
And then when you would go, I can't, it's the most famous one where it has like in the forest and you go into that one bridge. And is that the one with the helicopters and like
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can play hours with that game.
Yeah. Oh, dude. This is not even like a podcast topic. I don't know why I'm thinking about this right now, but I'm going to tell you about it. I watched like the funniest fucking shit ever last night. Tim Dillon. You know Tim Dillon.
Yeah.
He put out, it's a special, but it's not really a special. It's like a talk show that he's doing, and it's kind of like a what's his name? Maury Povich? Yeah, Maury or Jerry Springer. So like it's a real live audience, and they put out, I guess, like ads or something to people. It's like, hey, like come on this reality show and we'll like solve your problems, like a Dr. Phil kind of thing.
Oh my god.
So like there's one where like this guy who's a Mexican immigrant is leaving America. He's like, I don't want to be in America anymore. I'm going back to Mexico. And his son is trying to convince him to stay. So they bring him on, and then and Tim Dillon's like kind of just, being an asshole and talking about how, like, why would you want to leave this great country, blah, blah, blah. And then like asking people in the audience shit. And they bring on a furry to try to convince him to stay. And that it's one of the funniest fucking shows.
I gotta watch that.
It was very, very funny.
Another quick kind of tangent, but back to like TV when we're growing up, and you said Fuel TV. Remember G4? It was like
what the fuck was G4?
It started off as like a kind of like a gaming TV show, but then at like night it would have Silent Library. It would have.
I fucking hated Silent Library.
I can't believe it. I don't even want to hear it. Whatever.
Silent
Shut
Library.
up. Don't listen to him. But it also had all this crazy Japanese game shows, like obviously American Ninja Warrior. But then they had the other. Do you ever see the one where like they had to get through all those doors and like some dude's chasing them in like a crazy suit? Oh my! It was called like Mount Fuji or so. It was. We'll look up.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Nuts.
Speaking of Japanese game shows, dude, the games at Barcade, the Japanese games,
dude.
So Colin and I discovered two of the best games ever. So we're at this place called Barcade. I know people from Philly listen. Barcade, they have a location here in LA. Same owners. There's this fucking game. I don't even know what it's called.
Oh, it was like not Pilot Wings. We looked it up because we wanted to buy it.
Yeah. You look it up while I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's a game. It's all in Japanese, and it's like a stationary bike, and you have to pedal the stationary bike and then kind of steer whatever. So it's like a mechanical flying machine. So you have to pedal and then you can glide, but you'll eventually start to fall. So, and you have to go and you have to pop all these balloons. And it's not a new game. It's like, it's very
Prop
old.
Cycle.
It's Prop Cycle. Yes. Prop Cycle. It's the coolest game ever.
It's so nuts, dude.
It's so much fucking fun.
And everyone sucks at it but David. David found his calling.
I have a gift.
It's nuts. I'm coach though, dude. I'm screaming at him to get these balloons.
We were like, we were kind of drunk and we're at this barcade and we're playing and I'm doing really well and literally it's me like totally locked in, like just going for it, and Colin's like, bank left, go, mountains, go, thread the needle, and we're just like fucking sending this. We played it for like maybe
solid 30 minutes, like
solid 30, maybe 45. Then we found another game.
This rhythm game is like the best way to explain it. Everyone gets a button. Or no, everyone gets 4 buttons, and it's like a D-pad, like one on the top, one on the bottom, one left, right, and one middle. And this is the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of like DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, but it's also kind of, that piano game that you used to get on your phone? It would come down and you hit it, and then if you like didn't hit the net, it would like stop, and like the goal is to like go fast, kind of. It's kind of like that,
but like on screen. Is like you have to hit the button to the rhythm, or like you have to hit the inignated colors.
It's like a million different mini games in
It's like
one.
WarioWare, if anyone knows what that is. It's like an old. What? It was a huge Nintendo Wii game. Like they're like micro mini games that you have to just beat in a couple of seconds.
We really went on like a tour of games, and there's also this fucking game at this place called Waltz. It's called Cold Beer.
Insane.
Apparently, there's like a real cult following for it, and there's not a lot of these machines left. But it's probably the most addictive game I've ever played.
That one's fun.
You get a ball, and there's a bar that comes across, and you have 2 joysticks, and the joysticks bring the one end down and up, and the other end down and up. And then there's a bunch of holes in the wall in front of you, and they tell you which hole to get in. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's all these holes, and it's random patterns. And your goal is to kind of teeter-totter this thing up without getting into the wrong holes. Here's a photo of Cold Beer. This is what it looks like. This is Prop Cycle. I don't even know what the fuck the other one was called. If I can find it, here it is.
We'll figure that one out.
Probably
it's
not.
So much fun.
Yeah. But apparently there's like a real cult following, and people go to that bar, Waltz, from all over the place because you can't get that.
It's a cool one.
It was
the OG van store. It was the very first van store in Los Angeles, and then
that's what it was.
Yeah, it was a van, and then it turned into a pinball bar in like the 80s, which is dope.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, you got anything left for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug my audiobook. Don't buy guns. It's this book about why you should buy guns, and it took me a minute to write. I'm really proud of it. It has a foreword from Mike Myers, the guy who plays who's it? Shag Me Baby. Austin Powers. Yeah, he does the foreword for my book. Give it a listen. It's like a 90 pages, I think.
90-page book.
It's good.
All right. Cool. Amazon? Think Amazon?
Amazon, and then a link in the description above.
And LinkedIn. All right. See you guys next week.